Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, and today is the Saturday check-in. It is Saturday, June 20th, 2026. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, then head on over to podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the podcast that is updated every Thursday. Also, make sure that you go over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the blog and go give it some love. And follow me on TikTok for TikTok Tuesdays, where I do a little 10-minute segment over there. And follow me on all the other social medias and check out my book, Carpe Diem Scroto, 365 Daily Affirmations, found at www.cdsthebook.com. So, today's video is going to be a little bit of a rant, and sorry about that in advance, but I'm not sorry because, well, if you've consumed any of my content for the last 13 years, I start off with whatever, however, and just do everything completely unscripted. The very first thing I want to attack and get off my chest are virtue signaling veterans. And these are the veterans, or persons who claim to be veterans, that say stupid shit on posts like, well, I didn't serve in the military for XYZ to take place and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but didn't you? Like, that's the literal definition of serving your country, is to protect the freedoms of Americans and to, like, uphold and defend against domestic and foreign, like, threats and enemies. Now, I have family who are on both sides of the political spectrum that have served in the military. My grandfather, my uncles, my sister, all of them served in the military. My grandfather, and I have an uncle and an aunt and two cousins who are police officers. I come from a background of military personnel and law enforcement, so I know the things. I don't think that when you're at the recruitment station, you get to, like, answer a question on your application. How do you want your military service time allocated? Do you want it allocated to left-wing political agenda, and the whole list of this? Do you want it for right-wing political agenda, all of this, or other? And that you get to fill in your stuff, and then they're like, okay, well, your time served is going to be put into an allocation for just these type of issues. That's not how that shit works. And I know that politics and being political and all that other shit is, like, a hot topic thing and not something I normally talk about on the channel, though I have been talking a little bit more here and there on the channel about it. But just because you don't agree with how something's going and you served the country with military, whatever, does not give you the right to then say, well, because I served, I get to cherry pick what freedoms you get to experience. No. If that's the case, why did you even serve in the military? And if you're that type of person who thinks that way, like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say it because I don't want my channel to get banned, but, should have stayed a POW. Um, so, yeah. The reason I bring this up is because of the number of stupidity, just the posts of stupid motherfuckers ranting on and on and on about, like, Pride Month. Well, when do we get a straight Pride Month? When do we get this? When do we get that? Like, motherfucker, you guys get an entire military appreciation month. You get several holidays, banking holidays throughout the year. And straight Pride Month, when was the last time that you got, like, openly attacked for being in love with your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whoever? Like, just shut the fuck up. Don't use your bigotry and your, like, service to this country as a way to further discriminate. Just flat come out and say, I'm a homophobic, transphobic piece of shit, and yeah. And those very same people, I have to take pause and wonder, like, if what they were saying was being said to their children or about their children, would they change their mind? Because chances are, somebody who is gay or bisexual, non-gender conforming, transgender, whatever, and or have a family member that is part of the LGBTQIA. So I don't know. It's just ridiculous and stupid to me that in 2026 we still have racism, we still have homophobia, even though homo like homosexuality has been around since the inception of man. It's observable in nature. It's been proven time and time again that brain chemistry and hormonal chemistry matches that of when heterosexual people fall in love with each other or are sexually aroused. Like, they've done studies where they've hooked men up to machines and set them in individual rooms and showed them pictures of, like, naked females or straight porn or whatever, and mapped how their neural pathways light up. And then they've done that also with gay imagery and pornography and so on and so forth, and watched how their brains lit up or whatever. And it was almost a conclusive thing that those who identified as straight always, like, had the same kind of neural pathways as persons who identified as being gay or lesbian. In a few cases, the neural pathways lit up in, like, for some people, seeing both happening at the same time, like male, female, male, male, female, female. And, they're like, okay, well, this person is clearly bisexual or has some kind of bisexual repression. So it doesn't matter. Love who you love, live how you want to live. It, as long as you're not hurting anyone in the process, like, being Jeffrey Dahmer out here, like a gay serial killer, Like, that we can all agree we're gonna frown on that and like no, but just two men loving one another, walking down the street, holding hands, having public displays of affection, people attending gay pride parades, the whole nine yards. Like, just shut up and give leeway to them. If you don't agree with it, cool. I don't agree with flying the American flag after 5 p.m. Lit up or not. I don't agree with it. There. I don't agree with bananas being 45 cents a pound. God, I wish they were still 45 cents a pound, but you know what I mean. I don't agree that my neighbor has a German Shepherd and I don't like German Shepherds. So what does that mean for my neighbor? Absolutely the fuck nothing. Does him having a German Shepherd cause me or give me the right to tell him he can't have that German Shepherd? Absolutely not. So that's that rant. The other rant that I have is people thinking that they know what health ailments others have or what it's supposed to be or what it looks like or what the fuck ever else. Recently, I had a conversation with somebody who tried to tell me, who has been a diabetic for over 20 years, what I needed to do to not be a diabetic. And I was like, oh, really? Can you show me your peer-reviewed paperwork? And your biomedical degree? Because I know that you have a degree in college, but I didn't realize it was biomed. Like, please show me like the paperwork that says that if I, Michael Peterson here, if I do XYZ, that I will be cured of being diabetic. Please show me that. Show me these peer-reviewed papers. Like, the whole conversation came up based on glycemic index and insulin resistances. So for those of you that don't really know about glycemic indexes and stuff like that, a glycemic index tells you that if you eat a cup of rice, you're expected to see your blood sugar raise X number of points. Before you eat any food, you should be somewhere between 60 and 100 with your blood sugar. After you eat, it is normal for your body to go from 100 to 250, maybe even a little bit higher, depending on the quantity of what you ate and how your body breaks it down. So there's complex carbohydrates and sugars. So mashed potatoes, for one, is a complex carb. It breaks down into sugar, and the carb also breaks down to other things as well. So your body automatically produces insulin unless you are a diabetic or you have some kind of issues with your pancreas. So my type of diabetes is called LADA, which stands for latent onset adult diabetes. And it is basically like an immune system compromise, where think of like having the common cold versus HIV. You can get rid of the common cold, you can't get rid of HIV. So mine is more like HIV. It will never go away. My body is insulin resistant, and my pancreas only produces 5 to 10% of insulin versus the 100% that it's supposed to produce. And so when you're insulin resistant, that means that your blood cells and the cells that like need to be saturated with the insulin does not get taken care of the way that it's supposed to. And so instead of your body naturally regulating everything, it just kind of shoots it out and you end up urinating all of that insulin out of your body. So the insulin that I take is a concentrated dose. So for every 1 milligram, it's times 5. So we found about 12 or 13 years ago that hitting my body with a high dose of insulin will not only saturate the cells and force my body to absorb that, but it helps control my blood sugars. So me and this person, we got into this argument about like what it meant to be insulin resistant, and that if I just did this or that, that I would be completely cured and not have to be on my insulin pump anymore. Don't talk on things you don't know shit about. You know, that's the whole of it right there. Just because you think you know does not mean that it makes it so. Like, there are people who are extremely rigid with themselves and don't allow themselves to have any carbs or cookies or candy or cake or whatever else. You know, you can see based on my weight that I still allow myself to have those things. But I don't allow myself to have 15 bowls of cereal. I don't allow myself to have the entire thing of ice cream. You know, I still do moderation. Another reason that you see heavy set people as diabetics a lot of times is because insulin gets stored in fat cells. And your body doesn't burn fat a lot of times because of the way that fat works and all that other stuff. And this is basic biology. So, anyways, all of that to say, just, you know, have your opinions, but also read the room and know when to like exert them. And then when the person who has the lived life experience with whatever you are talking about is talking, that's when we turn on our listening ears and hush our mouths. Because when we turn on our listening ears, we understand what is happening, what is taking place. So, okay, I'm done with my rant now. 18 and a half minutes later. As for the rest of everything this week, it has been an emotional week. I have been dealing with a lot of bullshit, and my depression has been up, down, and everywhere in between. I have been sleeping more than I want to, but somehow my blood sugar has been spot on where it needs to be. And had a couple of days where suicide crossed my mind, and I was thankfully the rest of my other system was like, no, that's not an option. And like, okay, you know, but no buts. Uh, it's even to that. It's even to the point where I thought that I would sign up for life insurance policies, because one of the main underwriting things of a life insurance policy is that it cannot and will not be paid out for acts of suicide. And I figured, okay, so I'm paying, it would basically be paying a subscription to life at that point. Um, because the policy that I have right in front of me here, and I would show it to you, but it has like my name and address and all kinds of other stuff on it. But um, basically, $60 a year would give me $400,000 in life insurance coverage, and I would get $400 a day for hospitalization. So I was thinking about signing up for that just so that I'm consistently thinking about my death and how impactful that's going to be for my family and stuff like that. And I don't want them to have to like have a barbecue or do a GoFundMe or any of that other bullshit to take care of my end of life needs. And that's also part of the reason that I collected Funko Pop and that I do collect Funko Pop is so that one day they can turn around and sell them all. They bring me happiness now, and at my passing, they can sell it for whatever they can get it for, and pay off my funeral costs. I can't say those words right now. So, yeah. And then also just dealing with family stuff that I am feeling extremely helpless in and wanting to fix everything because that's my love language is let me fix it, and not having the tools or the ability to fix what needs to be taken care of. So I'm just pushing along. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much. And I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I could seriously go on for like another hour about just everything that's going on, but I don't think that you guys have the temperance to sit here and just listen to me yammer on. And there are some things that I need to get done today. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comment section down below. And yeah, just remember that you're doing the best you can with what you have available to you. And in a world full of Karens, be somebody who cares in the world and punch people if they invade your space with their stupidity. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. Just like, don't come around here with that bullshit. And here they come with that bullshit. And just like, nope. So, anyways, guys, I will talk to you all later. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. And I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Bye, everyone.